anything,
Okay.
my banana notwithstanding. But we've got...
All I can picture is like a cheetah bruised banana. Like a 2-week-old sitting there ready for the bread, you know?
Oh yeah, just looking like a zombie when
That's
you're
the
just
one.
the meme where the zombie is like your banana, but you're reaching into your pantry to get like chips and crackers. No, we've got some future content creators on the damn network that are like, hey, I can't wait to get the banana.
Yes.
Network Ryan Banana on
That's
my show that I'm going to be doing.
Yes.
So I don't know if you want to talk about that or if that's like all the teasing we want to do.
You're the boss, man. What do you think?
I'm
some
not the boss.
This is some live program directing. I'm telling you, I've had a lot of program directors over my lifetime, and you are right there as the greatest ever. Because you listen
okay,
and
in what capacity am I the greatest though? Is it biggest asshole? Driving you with the hardest?
No, and again, all have been great. All have been great. It's just you listen to me the most, which I appreciate. I feel heard from you. So there's your compliment for the day. Don't make me say it again.
That's gonna stop right like now.
This is your call. You want to promo some stuff, or do you want to get
I'm
into?
Taking this out. I'm not listening anymore.
Be a baller move.
Oh, I can't take that out because I can't hear Little B. No, hey, listen. We're all about lifestyle and wellness in all of its nuanced and subtle glory.
Yes.
Right? So sometimes we talk about sports, sometimes we talk about lifestyle, sometimes we talk about physical wellness. And there's a little bit of a trend over the last couple of years on YouTube and other social medias that we are on, of course. Dufferin Ave, pretty much everywhere that you can
Ooh, you want to
do
hit
the
it?
socials.
Should we hit it? Should we hit it? Let's get it.
Okay, you try and frame it up, and I'm going to keep talking for the audio only
Go
people.
ahead, LB. I'm pretty sure. I'm confident in this one. I'm confident.
There's a trend on social media where if you are in a gym, you take pictures of yourself and you try and make yourself look all glorious and so fantastic, and everybody wants to be like me because I'm hot and beautiful and blah, blah,
don't
blah.
get too cocky over there, kid.
No. This is
Oh,
me
okay.
pantomiming like the general
Sorry, it was
discourse
Star Wars.
on
They had to
social
do some
media.
Star Wars stuff
Social
real
media.
quick, yeah.
And we've got some stuff like that that's right from home that is like
Amazing.
low key. You can do it at your home and just generally become more well. That's a terrible way to say that, but
No, that's a great setup because it's not the normal way that people do it where it's, listen to me, I'm telling you what to do. This is what you have to do right now. It sort of goes with our flow of, we'll never tell you what to do. Come hang out with us and you're going to get healthier. That's basically it. And we have some really good people getting that ready to go. So we're going to do some rolling out, I guess.
leading by example. And this is the one that I like, is leading from the front in coaching, in managing, in teaching. It's always show me what to do.
Yes.
Teach me how to do it. And or do it with me. And that's going to be my favorite part of this new content that we're working on, because your good friend Gary might be doing some of it himself, trying to get...
There might be a couple people around here trying to get in shape a little bit and
well,
bend in their muscles where they've never been before.
He's got muscles in places I didn't even know were places. That's what he's going to find out. And it's just part of this kind of whole journey that you're putting yourself on, and this new standard, I think, that you're holding yourself to be as you kind of build this whole... enterprise?
It's a life. It's a whole new life. It legit is. Like, I feel this is Gary version 4.0, and I'm surrounded with so much support and so much kindness and so many incredible people. And a quick THC update. We're almost at the month now. Like, we're a couple days. This Thursday is going to be 1 month. I don't think I've gone 1 month without THC probably in my entire life since I was allowed to start smoking it, which was like the second time ever
start smoking
in grade
it.
12. Well, allowing myself in grade 12 and Mr. Humbert busted me, and that's another story for another day, but oh boy, was that ever a story.
Yeah, there it is.
So this is, again, yet to come, but I'm always so grateful and thankful, and it's, every time things like this are supposed to be hard, they're just not, because everyone's so supportive. So you guys are all great. We're not going to get too mushy about it.
Yeah,
but
Gary's going to cry. We don't want that. We certainly don't want that.
Every time I feel like I'm talking about stuff that's going to make me cry, this microphone, man, it's like it's the strongest armor. It's like armor plus 100. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's like dragon armor. Nothing's getting through it, and it's like
diamond armor in Minecraft.
There he is.
There we go.
Yeah, I was going Skyrim there.
I got that's right. Yeah. I got the 6-year-old in the house. I got the Sask River Pirates hat on, repping the River Pirates, new zone in south of Saskatoon.
And is that the Chicago Wolfpack?
No, this is the Dundurn Wolfpack.
Oh, there it is.
I'm repping all the dad colors.
Stuff.
I got my Dundurn Wolfpack
Shout out
hockey
to the squad.
and I got my Sask River Pirates.
Have you ever shouted out your son on your show before?
I have. Well, I've never been on your show before except for my banana last week.
That's true. That was really funny.
We've got his first, because we got rained out last week and snowed out. We got his first minor ball practice of the year, and we were playing ball in Dundurn last year. Fantastic program, the Detonators.
So good, yeah.
The Dets. And we made the switch because that's softball. We made the switch to baseball this year. Coach Mazur's going to be so happy.
Yeah.
And I got so much to
remember
talk
my
to him
first
about
switch.
like long-term athlete development and the reason that kids are pushed so hard for velocity and size so early, because mass moves mass in all sports. And that's what my job used to be, right?
smart.
Is coaching and high performance. And man, I can't wait to pick his brain. We're going to have our first DAM meeting on Wednesday, and he's not going to be here.
Yeah, but still, we can always talk to him. He likes to zoom in and out because, again, busiest guy going out there as far as coaching goes.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
every day from like after school until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. He's just coaching
I know the
delivering.
feeling.
Yeah.
I
You
get
guys are all
it.
about it.
Yeah.
So, moving right along, as you and I have been talking during our coaching sessions about this very show and how we want to go about executing it, we believe very, very, very firmly in supporting the community and being locally based. And to the point where we shout out all of our people on board, like Wendy Brooks Media. Don't forget, if you have social media and you don't want to do it, but someone has to, get Brooksy. She's the best in the biz at what she does. The Nickel Plumbing. Aquaman just got a shipment here. We got a bunch of swag that we're going to be giving away. Uncle Mike's, we got swag we're giving away. Sotner Concrete Services. Those are our dudes. This is the house they built right here. Real quick tangent on the tangent. Gold medal from the under 18s. Could be showing up here tomorrow with our boy Roger McQueen.
Oh, yeah, no
I'm
way.
waiting to see him. Going to talk to my boy. But yeah, Team Canada taking gold.
Jerome McGinley's son is on that team.
Teach, yeah.
I got a good Jerome McGinley story.
It's okay. Too many tangents. Getting back to it. Sorry to cut you off there.
Come on, we're talking
LB,
hockey,
we
aren't
want to talk about community involvement. LB,
Yes, we do. Yeah.
We had his big debut with the talking about the Fireside
Oh,
Singers
yeah,
and the big
yeah.
event coming up, and then you're like, you know what? We should talk about all the incredible local stuff going on with our friends at TCU. And then we just got talking about all this stuff going on, and now we got a little list of stuff we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So why don't you get us into that TCU talk right after LB tells us how ready they are for Fireside here in like a week. You getting nervous yet, bud?
Nah, not really.
What a stud.
Oh yeah, born killer, hey.
The only thing
Oh,
he's
it's just
nervous
once
for
you've
is
done it
something.
for a while, it's not so bad.
The reps, hey, the reps.
Exactly.
We talk about
the
it.
reps.
Always get your reps in.
He's done 10,000 hours of singing. Yes,
Yeah.
Probably.
his parents forced him to.
Well, you know.
I've met his parents, as you know.
I looked
and,
right into the camera when I said that,
His dad
too.
is my dude, and we're going to be hopefully getting him around here a little more. But shout out to my man, Big B.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, they would never force him to do anything. Dude flies planes, he
Except
sings,
work
he
here.
fixes, builds computers, everything. So he's just like, once you have a brain like that, it's crazy. So they're getting ready. What else we got going over there? A lot of exciting
huge
things.
head, hey, little B, like huge,
But small ear canals, he said. Is that true?
physically huge head, like.
What's the ear canal situation for you, bud?
They're just really small. I got an hearing test, and they had me put earbuds in, and the person doing it, like, I don't know what they're called, audiologist or something,
Yes.
was like,
That's
yeah,
right.
you have really small ear canals. I don't know.
Oh,
Is it like a narrow urethra? Is it like bad?
yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just like.
Do I say that to my wife? Hey, baby, you got small ear canals. That's so hot.
Bring those little ear canals over here. Oh,
It's
we
like
got off track
it's like
a lot.
spy equipment. Hey, man, look at how sleek and sexy those ear canals are. Not how big and bulbous or reamed out those puppies are.
Now back to the banana taco. Let's just
Yeah.
keep it rolling. TCU Place, a lot
Yes,
going
sir.
on. Not just Fireside, May 15th and 16th, I believe.
Yep, May 15th and 16th at 7:30, tcutickets.ca.
Very cool,
My mom
yeah.
Wendy is going to be there for sure. And shout out to our friend Megan, who we love so much. Megan, you're the best. We love you.
Very cool. Yeah. Also, tomorrow, what's the date?
7th, I
May
believe, tomorrow.
7th and May 8th. Paw Patrol Live.
Here we go. Now let's get into this, because if you're like me and you don't have any actual children of your own, every person who does always talks Paw Patrol.
Yeah, and
Always.
You know what I've found though, and this is the thing about Paw Patrol, is there is a very sharp decline off of the Paw Patrol kind of bandwagon. And it's like my son turned 5.
Okay.
And he said, you know, Mom, I don't know if I like Paw Patrol as much anymore. It kind of feels like it's for little kids.
Oh, he's
And
grown up.
Mama's heart just through the floor. Like,
Yeah.
the Paw Patrol stock went down in my house.
But I know exactly what overtook. Well, not overtook it in your case, because again, Ballard's just growing out of it. But
Yeah.
Bluey is the new Paw Patrol.
Oh,
apparently.
Bluey, man. And you know what the thing about Bluey is for somebody who doesn't have kids?
Yeah.
Is Bluey will make you cry every time.
This is what I hear. My brother, again, shout out to the Don. My sweet, beautiful niece, nephew, Boston, and Hazel, they're all about the Bluey right now. They went and saw the Bluey live and say it's just like next level stuff, game changer. So they love the Bluey, and apparently Bluey's the big thing.
Yeah.
So is that taken over for the Paw Patrol?
I think it has, because it's still a little blue dog with a high-pitched voice, like standard operating procedure for cartoons since the 60s.
Okay.
Wait, hold up.
Oh,
is this just Blue's Clues?
Oh, yeah, way back now.
Little blue dog that helps kids deal with emotions is the
That
recipe,
sounds
right?
like Blue's Clues.
So we got 3 blue dogs.
So Bluey took over,
the
though.
years,
And Bluey, I think, took over because parents can relate to it. It's about your kids growing up or lessons that your kids learn, but really there's a message in there. Like Bluey is, the cartoon program is saying to parents, hey, me too. Or, hey, you're not alone in this frustration and struggle that is raising a child, right?
Okay.
And
apparently it's like sacrilege if you skip the intro. The intro must be a real banger.
it's like a dancing thing, and kids like to dance.
Okay.
And they play like dancing musical chairs on the intro, and Bluey always wins because that's the intro. Yeah. But Bluey's got a younger sister named Bingo. They all have dog names, hey, and they're all different dog breeds.
Now, are they, because it's Australia, right? Where
Correct,
it's from?
yeah.
So is that like dingoes? Are those the dogs? Dingo ate your baby?
There is a dingo.
So it's not a, okay.
There is a dingo, the breed dingo, but there isn't a character named dingo. That would be like a character being named German Shepherd.
Yeah.
They all
which
have
is a
name
dog.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so we got Paw Patrol rolling in live. Are you going? Are you taking your lovely child?
I am not. No, too busy. We got
Well,
baseball,
and
we
he's
got
done with it too.
Yeah,
right? So
I think
it's
he'd
tough.
go, but man, it's baseball season. Come on.
Yeah.
And hockey playoffs and birthday parties. We went to Apex Trampoline Park yesterday with the niece and nephew
Our
and my son.
trampolines still, I guess that one's a lot safer. And
I don't know. They got
so
about
many
50 trampolines in there. How safe can it be?
But they have all the mats and stuff. Like
Yes.
when I used
Yep.
to jump on the tramps, half of them didn't have mats back in the day. So you're always, dropping your downstairs right on the springs, and they pinch you while they got you. It's a horrible injuries.
Yeah. My son jumps on my trampoline from when I was his age.
Okay.
So I sink down to the ground, and all the welds for the legs are broken, and he
talking
jumps
about.
off of his
That's the
treehouse
trampoline
onto
that
it.
I know right there, yeah.
So if you go to Apex, you're definitely safer than that. And they give you special socks that are like grippy socks. And there's jumping pits like when you go to gymnastics center. There's a ton of fun stuff to do there. And shout out to Apex. Like if you want to have like a local business feature, I'd be happy to talk about and really rave, because they do birthdays, they do food, slushies, there's party rooms upstairs.
How could they reach out to you in case they want to work with us?
Dufferinav.com, baby.
Man, it's so simple. Look, did somebody
There it
order
is.
one?
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, shout out to Apex.
Do they still have slam ball there?
I don't
love
know.
slam ball.
I haven't been there for about a year, but my son has been to parties and with Mama a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very fun. Okay, so we got Paw Patrol, then we got Fireside going on. Anything else big at TCU coming up this
Jan Arden.
Ooh.
Jan Arden. Shout out to post-grunge alternative music from like the early 2000s.
Jan Arden. I'll tell you this. You want to have a really cool connection between Jan Arden and this very show?
Oh, yeah. I do.
wanna do
I
this?
want this.
Okay, so if you've ever heard Jan Arden before,
Have.
her TV shows and all of her podcasts and stuff have been so hilarious. They had her show on the radio locally here for a while. And she's a very, very funny lady, which I think gets lost a lot with her incredible voice and her presence when she sings. She just signed a new deal for podcasting.
Yeah, for like a lot of money, hey?
Yeah, and I believe there is a lawyer who may or may not be a part of this network as well who sort of put that together.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll just leave it at that. But
Never heard of
just
her.
in case you're wondering what kind of hands we're in here as far as our lawyering goes and all that, we're right there on that Jan Arden level. Now the content could be, leave you wanting a little bit, but we're in very good hands when it comes to the great KD.
I don't think that I can sing as good as her if that's what people
I
are
wish I
looking
could
for when they
remember a
come.
song. What's a Jan Arden song?
Well, she did Jagged Little Pill, right? Like,
No, that's Alanis Morissette.
Oh, yeah, that's Alanis Morissette.
Bro. I was wondering, why are you... Okay, that makes sense now, because I was like, Jan Arden wasn't very grungy, but Alanis...
no,
Jagged Little
post-grunge
Pill.
alternative. It was
Yeah.
a different genre.
Okay, well, yeah.
I thought you worked on the radio.
Barely.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
I wouldn't
the
call
truth.
what I did work, that's for sure. All I did was
truth.
just chirp. It was horrible.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the truth. I
another
think there's
story
a
for a
there's
day.
a Michael Jackson show coming to TCU as well.
Nice. Okay. So
And
a
I don't
lot
know
for you to
anything
get
about
to.
that one, but maybe if you like Michael Jackson, maybe you go to that one.
And man, there's a reason Thriller was like the best-selling album in the history of music for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
Yep, very much.
that's what's going on at TCU. Okay. Citywide Food Bank Drive going on right now.
That's a good one.
My best buddy, Deb Hamp and Lori, my sweet best friend Lori, over at the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center. It's the Citywide Food Bank Drive going on right now. If you want to get that karma up, we always talk about it. Do good things, and you'll notice good things will start happening to you because karma is very real, whether you like it or not. And we always talk about changing the world by caring about others before yourself. A great way to do that is with the Citywide Food Bank Drive going on for the entire month of May. And I was talking with Deb, and she's sending me some stats and some info about where you can help out and drop off and events going on throughout the month. But another thing just to be aware of as we move forward with this endeavor, and our good friends, Deb and Lori and the team over at the food bank, the need right now as we go into the summer months, just like the winter turnover, this is where everyone sort of moves. And the food bank is coming off the biggest need, as in like the need and amounts of food and money and all those things ever. And like almost half of the people using the food bank are children under like the age of 12. Like it's incredible stuff
you know
that's
what?
happening right now.
I think we deserve to give that some context. Kids use the food bank at a higher clip than any other demographic, right?
Yes.
And it's not that kids are walking into the food bank to pick up a bag of groceries. It's their parents
are going there to feed the kids.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
And that's why we say these kids are the ones using.
The kids are eating that food for breakfast.
Yeah.
Those kids are eating that food at lunch, at school. They're having that food for snack when they come home.
And
right?
Parents that never ever had to use a food bank before are now going in and using the food bank because life is really hard. We talk about it all the time. Your life is so hard now. When you were just okay before, you're not really okay anymore because everything's priced through the roof and everything is so insane out there that people that never would have thought they'd have to go through that are going through that. And we need to help each other, and this is how we do it. And like even infants, like formula and like all that stuff.
So here, let's turn that back to a positive and provide some direction. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to do it. Right now, this is the way that I do it. If I can lead from the front or lead by an example. And teach my kid, this is maybe a good way to do it, is let's say there's a 2-for-1 deal on something that you can donate to the food bank, like a non-perishable or something that you have to cook, so it comes in a box, whatever, right? If it's 2-for-1, you're going to buy it anyways, get that second one, or that second one is 50% off and it's very much more affordable. Take that second one, put it in a donation box or put it in a donation pile or take that down to the food bank and donate it, right? Yep. Small little acts of kindness like that and thoughtfulness.
Those are the ones we're talking about.
If we can all kind of just a little bit make that kind of mental reservation to carry that out, that's what it takes. And that's how a community becomes closer knit, and that's how a community can support itself, right?
Absolutely. And with the Citywide Food Bank Drive, as I continue to talk with Deb, we're going to hopefully get someone from there in here over the next week, and we will tell you exactly where, as well as exactly how to donate those monetary donations and all the food and all that stuff, because everybody helps out with this. It's not just them doing it, you know what I mean? Like everyone says, I'll put a box up here, I'll put something up here, and they all sort of go through it that way. So again, shout out to our friends over there as a Citywide Food Drive continues.
I didn't even think of that. Sorry, I totally interrupted the end of that. But I didn't even think of that. The monetary donations, like a family could make a monetary donation, but so could a business.
That's it.
And a business can get in touch with the food bank and say, hey, like we want to help you guys out.
I'm looking at setting that up with Dam here.
That's a damn good idea.
So maybe every time we have a guest come in, we donate $10, or if something happens, we'll donate, here and there.
Yeah.
And I say it all the time, dude, walk the walk.
Every time you say again.
Oh, God. It's every time I say again. We're going broke, man. Does everyone want to get paid this month? And we'll do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that in the budget?
Again.
I
don't know. That might be a tough one. But we are all about walking the walk. Everyone talks the talk all the time, and now is the time more than ever to start walking, because we can't say, hey, put others before yourself, and then be like, oh, we're not going to do nothing. So I got something set up there. We'll talk again with Deb and Lori, and we'll see what we can do on that front. Okay.
Very good.
Hockey. We had a huge weekend. Croker was in PA today shooting another one of his incredible videos doing the best small town golf course. And he was out there with our good friends over at Creatorade, who we love. Hello, Creatorade.
I wonder what golf course he was at. We don't know. We'll have to ask him next time he's on.
You have to watch. But he was supposed to come by today at some point. He said he wasn't sure when he'd make it in. So if he does, he's going to stop by and get us all caught up in what people are calling, and this is not a word of a lie, the greatest East Division final in the history of all of hockey. Not just junior, all of hockey. 6 games right now. tied at 3 apiece. 5 of those games have gone to overtime. 5.
Man, unreal. It's no wonder like the tenure for head coaches in any professional sport is so short. They all have heart attacks because it's just like high stress all the time.
Why they're all bald. Too.
All
Shout out to Drew
overtimes.
Amanda, my boy. Best bald coach ever.
Yeah.
But you're not made to have hair when you're a coach.
No, certainly
especially
not.
in that situation. It's just unbelievable how it's all played out. And the jokes aren't even like they're not even being made anymore because they're not even funny because every single game just goes to overtime. Like one of the hot jokes after like the third one's like, oh, we shouldn't even have to ask before the game, but who do you got scoring in overtime? And now it's like that's
and
not
then
even
that was
funny.
the case.
Yeah.
And then it was the case again.
It's unbelievable how this is playing out. So we got Game 7, SaskTel Center tomorrow night. It is all going down. You got your Moose Jaw Warriors. You got your Saskatoon Blades. I think last time I checked, over 11,000 tickets sold.
Yeah, they opened up the whole arena, both
Filling her up.
bowls,
It's
and
going all the way.
first time that's happened since last year when Connor Bedard was playing. And I'm just going to throw this out there.
Here he goes.
So I'm just going to throw this one out there. The last time the whole bowl was open was when the Pats were in town playing.
Yeah.
And the 50-50 was
the big cash.
$70,000. Now, maybe people were there for the Bedard show. Maybe it won't be that high, but I mean,
sure will be.
14,000 odd people in there all buying a couple tickets. Like that's going to add up pretty quick. That's a good reason to go.
Yes, and another really cool thing our good buddy Croker has been doing is these pre-game shows from the parking lot.
Yeah.
Him and Leroy. Also a Creator 8 guy, and they just get some lawn chairs and they set up and they do their pre-game right from the parking lot. So I'm pretty sure he said if they go to Game 7, they'll be doing it. So all questions we will ask Croker if he stops by today. If not, hopefully we'll get him in tomorrow, as I'm assuming he's still on the road making his way back. But that series, man, like the fact that people are talking about it and not just around here. Like this is like a worldwide phenomenon going on.
And you got to remember too that was it last game? Fraser
Minton, that was two ago.
Fraser Minton, as my son calls him.
There you
Fraser Minton scored the game winner, and he's the Leafs' #1 overall prospect in their kind of funnel system for the pro team.
Yes.
And the Leafs were just in a Game 7 that went to overtime
Did you just segue perfectly to what I wanted to talk about next?
Well, I've done this a couple times, and it's like
Don't mind telling me.
one thing leads into another. It's like, okay, the Leafs are in this Game 7 thing, and their #1 prospect is like the hero in Game 5 of like a playoff game,
Huge.
right?
Yeah.
It's a story. It's a story that says, okay, well, what if the core 4 in Toronto get broken up and it's all this big thing? Then and Nylander's like on TV's all sad, or was it Nylander?
Nylander and it was also Marner. Both of them just lolly. They looked like me getting back in the Flamingos game.
Oh no! Well, but he was on TV and he was doing his post game
talking
interview,
about that,
and he
about
was
how they're-
swerring and they didn't beep it out, and I thought it was funny. And
thought you
but
were
I didn't
talking
want to
about the
laugh at
actual
him.
overtime goal.
No, he was on TV.
That's 2 of their 4 guys that take up over half of their cap. They got 4 forwards
Yes.
that take up over half of their entire salary cap.
The core 4, they call it, right?
core four, that's
the
it.
core 4, and you've got your #1 prospect scoring a game-winning goal in overtime in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's like we could pay this guy like
entry-level contract.
entry-level I was
Rookie-level
trying to think of
contract,
something
yeah.
now we could pay this guy in like extra stick tape.
A couple cups and a couple pucks, you know?
Yeah. A couple cans of chew.
Now we're cooking. The true currency in sports.
And get rid of one of these guys that obviously can't score goals for Toronto or whatever.
Not
Like,
just that, the look. Like, you're in overtime of Game 7, and you got 2 of those guys that are, again, the core 4, both skating like this and then looking like this, and watch them pass to do this. Right by him. Both of them. You can look. Nylander's right there. Pass that goes right around him. You can see Marner right back over there watching him go, and they're both just watching him.
was that
as
the
Pasta comes
goal?
around,
Like
the goal
the
in
goal
overtime.
Well, that goal was like
It was a dump in. It was a dump and bounce. See you later.
Yeah.
You're gonna justify those 2 guys coasting like that?
no.
Okay,
No,
good.
I'm not. But it wasn't icing. It wasn't an icing dump in, A. And B, it wasn't just a dump into anywhere. That dump in was in the corner.
Ooh, home
and,
court advantage. He's
And guys practice where to dump the puck into to get a good bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Where do goals happen in hockey? I tell this to my 6-year-old every single game, every practice, and I'm sure it won't stop for like years. Goals happen in the middle of the ice,
yes.
right? Hockey Canada, coaches are mandated to tell kids that, right? And if you can get a dump in that hits the corner and bounces towards the middle,
Your way, yeah.
you can score.
Stuart
And that's what
Skinner.
happened.
Was that in Edmonton, though, when LA did that right at the end of that first period?
I don't
Remember
know.
that? When Skinner was, the Oilers were up 1-0, and Skinner went to the corner, and it bounced out, and then LA scored, and it was like, oh, super deflating because the Oilers were up 1-0, about to end the first period. I think it might have been in Edmonton, so maybe the other teams are practicing those weird bounces.
Maybe.
Off the
Oh,
boards,
man. It happens about once a year. Hey, somebody goes for a dump in around the back and it hits
Man.
the edge of the glass and bounces into the net.
It happens enough that every Rock'em Sock'em VHS tape I ever watched has an entire segment dedicated to either faking it out that way and sending it on net or bouncing out and the goalie looking like, whoa, what happened?
Oh, man, worse.
So it happens a lot. And again, they do practice it. Like you said, there's one. That could be a donation. Let's write that down.
You think about guys being the highest level of their sport. Their entire life, they've practiced all of the drills and all of the things and all the handling and all of the reps. And
For their entire life.
And
like you said.
everybody's got the sports psych. Everybody's got the nutritionist at the pro level, right? Everybody's got every resource that they have. How do guys gain an advantage? Well, what about on a dump-in? Like, how can I do something to give my team a chance on a dump-in? That's where my brain goes as somebody who looks for greatness instead of somebody who tries to find somebody lollygagging and
See, now this
what
is
what
where
was
my
it that
brain
won the
goes.
game is what I'm
This
going to
where
ask.
my brain goes.
Was it the lollygag
Is-
that lost the game, or was it the elite dump-in that won the game?
If you are talking about guys practicing that dump-in, wouldn't you also be practicing defending the dump-in?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you, as the Toronto Maple Leafs, say, man, you guys just be aware, because it was right up, what was it, like a minute and a half into the overtime. It's like, be aware, fresh legs are going to be dumping and chasing. This is what goes on at the TD Garden. We know where all these little bounces are going to go. Be ready. And then to have the best player, arguably, either Marchi or Pasta, being the guy that's just going right around you, and your two of your big core four are sitting there on tape looking like they got the controller unplugged playing Chell, I would be a little bit upset because you should be aware. Either your coach, O'Keefe, isn't telling you guys to be aware of that, or you just don't give a crap because it sure looked like they didn't give a crap.
Yeah, or all things put together make it such that, like the 5 minutes of recovery and a little bit of nutrition, skates off, blade sharpened, like professional sporting is in every sport really, really a game of inches.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
Because everyone, like you just said, everyone's gone their whole life going through that same system.
missing hitting the stick down with a dump in, guy getting past you by 6 inches, and even the Pasternak scored the goal, right?
Yeah.
The when you slow the goal down and look at the space that the puck could have potentially traveled in, and remember, he's going 35 miles an hour almost. Like,
No, that's true. Very fast. Very
everything
fast.
just goes 1% any different way in any set of conditions, and the outcome is different, right? And again, that's why these guys get paid the big bucks, is because these guys can do that and execute with consistency at that, under that amount of pressure and at that speed, right?
Let's see you segue from this. By the way, tonight, puck drop, Game 1 between Florida and the Redemption Series and the Bruins.
yeah.
It's going to be crazy. If you remember last year, Bruins losing to Florida after going up 3-1 in the first round after having the greatest season in the history of professional hockey. Remember that? The President's Trophy is crazy, and then they just got tossed. So we'll see how that all goes.
Yeah.
Alec Manoah
Oh, yeah.
making
okay.
a start yesterday. You want to talk about guys making their money. What do you think? We had a little group chat going on, the damn group chat about the baseball, and we won't even get to Swanson yet because, oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
you see what I said about Swanson?
Yeah,
we're not getting to that
what
yet.
I'm saying.
Yeah, we're not getting to that yet.
Not just a good TV dinner, like it can also lose you a lot of balls out on the field. Alec Manoah was so promising to the point where he was, he finished third?
Second or
in Cy
third?
Young
Second or
voting.
third,
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
even
remember.
second in Cy Young voting in his rookie year, which is just unheard of. This guy came in, he looked like the next franchise, looked like the next Roy Halladay, man.
Yeah,
Just a guy
he was
who
really
could
good.
just do it all. Had a fallen out, got some injuries, this and that. He made his first start for the Blue Jays, and it started out very good. I just
You know
wanted
what?
you
Up
to
to
talk
about
about
72, 75 pitches, it looked really good. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but there was only 2 runs allowed and a bunch of strikeouts, wasn't there?
couple. Yeah, he struck out the side in the first after giving
Okay.
up, a run, which was, and it was lots of like walks and stuff as well. It was a classic Manoah inning.
Yeah, he's going to punch out like 11 and walk 5. Like, that's Manoah.
Yeah.
And if he's got his velocity, that's fine.
He was sitting 95, 96.
I'm okay. This is okay. This is all good,
right?
right? And over his last 2 starts in AAA or the minors, wherever he was, he had like 11 or 17 strikeouts in 2 games, or it was something like that.
He had
where
a
it's
2-hit 7-inning right before he got called up.
Yeah,
So it was really good.
All of those are fine things. And when you look at Manoah in his rookie season, his final 2 starts in AAA before they called him out, he totaled like 21 strikeouts in 2 games, and one of those games was like 17 strikeouts.
It's crazy.
So
The potential, man.
if you think, oh well, when we brought him up for real the first time, he was kind of at where he was at this week when they brought him up again. And over the first 65 or 70 pitches,
He looked
good.
Yeah. A little shaky, but yeah.
And Vladdy had a grand slam in there to really pad the lead, which was really nice to see as somebody
21 games without a dinger. And then he crushed this one. Like he hit it, and I thought it was a foul ball just by how hard he stared it down. I was like, oh, that's not. And then the camera goes to direct left field.
Oh yeah, camera goes all the way to the opposite, like
out there. Yeah,
freaking different time zone. That ball had a family.
21 games though, dude. 21 games since he last hit a home run.
But Alek Manoah, man, then there was a walk, and then there was a home run.
It was
tie it up. I don't remember how all the scoring went, but Alek Manoah a little bit fell apart at the end, and then Swanson came in and gave up. It was like a walk, then a home run or a 3-runner or something, and it's like, okay, as an organization and as a fan base, are we over the Manoah thing yet? Can we move past? Because I know a lot of people that are over the Manoah thing.
You want to talk about guys making their money? He's he's 3rd year now, I believe.
Yeah,
somewhere around
third year. I think they're paying him like $9 million or something.
Okay, so it's going to be one of those sign him or ditch him type of seasons, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you do with Alek Manoah? That was the worst segue of all time, by the way. I know the longest.
No.
We went from the Bruins and the core 4 and that whole thing to this. What do you do with Manoah?
I don't know because I'm not in the organization. I don't know as much as all of those guys.
I want to know you as Network Ryan. What would you do with Alek Manoah? Nothing else, just you. What's your gut instinct saying?
He's got all the tools, man. He's got all the tools.
You have to build a shack.
Okay, I'm going to say the name Nate Pearson.
Love him.
He was going to be the guy, right?
Yeah.
Hits 104 on the radar gun.
Huge cannon.
And huge guy, big, strong build, but had arm issues. Then he had mono. Then he had arm issues. Then he had a hip thing, right? Sounds a lot like Alek Manoah. Had an arm thing, and then he was sick, and then he was an asshole to everybody in the organization, so they moved him down. Then he was injured again. Move him to a reliever role. He's got the tools, man. If he can strike out the side, what else do you need from the guy? And you're only paying him $9 million. You could even say, hey, like we're moving you to a reliever role. Next year we're going to give you 8. You're still under team control for 3 years, so screw you, right? Like we can do what we want with you.
Yeah,
right?
That's something. Okay.
So that's something. It's not perfect because again, he's got the tools. He could be a starter. But
Nate Pearson, that's 2. I just said it again. That one didn't count. So Nate Pearson. That's a great point. You want to talk about a guy finally being able to do something with all the potential in the world.
Yeah.
And my only issue with him is he's got the live arm. I almost swore there. He's got that live grenade in his arm, throwing 102, 103 sometimes if he really leans into it. And
that's why
reliever,
you move him.
limit the numbers, put him in there, and that works great because he is a fireballer.
And
Manoah
power
sits
pitcher,
at that 93 to 95 range.
Power pitcher. Don't torque your arm all up and try and beat a guy with like a changeup or a slider when you can throw 104.
That's it. Old school,
just man. Blow him past, and even if you get into a fastball count, just locate. That's what they're paying you to do is locate.
I just had such a flashback when you were talking about fireballing of the Terminator and Dwayne Ward. Remember Tom Hankey and Dwayne Ward when they throw it down?
I had
Set-up guy into your closer. Maybe that would be it. I know you got Romano there, but he's another guy who's sort of like, like we love you, you're Canadian, you're awesome.
We do love Romano. We like Romano.
But he's got a little
franchise record holder in saves.
I get all this. He's got a little bit of injury touch lately.
I had a flashback too.
And imagine if you had Pearson being your Hankey and you had Manoah being your Ward. Ooh. Forget Swanson. If Romano goes down again, I could go maybe 7, 8, 9, set it up like that, whatever. Yeah. Keep Romano where he is, but I just worry about him too with the way all these guys with the big arms are going. It's scary.
Yeah. Well, big arms is baseball now, right?
Until they blow up.
Velocity is it, and location is, I think, the secondary thing, and then your off-speed stuff, your finesse pitchers are almost like the tertiary type of pitch now.
What the heck is tertiary for the fans at home? I totally know what
not
it is,
secondary, not thirdary.
Wouldn't it be fourthiary?
Tertiary.
No, and then
fourthiary. And then fourth.
This is why he's network Ryan.
I got a flashback to tell you about.
Let's hear it.
It wasn't Fireball back then. It was Hot 100.
Whoa, the
Drinking
good
it
stuff.
on the beach. Whole bottle of it. Woohoo!
On a hot day, was it?
It was midnight.
Okay.
Middle of the night. Oh, yeah. Had to run away from people that didn't want us on the beach.
I was going to say, how are you going to get around telling this story without getting in trouble? I think you did pretty good.
Yeah, my sister got a parking
where it
ticket that
stays?
night, and
Okay.
I
Hot
ended up
100.
sleeping on the floor of the bathroom.
I don't think anything good's ever come from Hot 100.
Oh, yeah. That's where I met my wife.
Okay,
Drank
one
a
good
whole
thing.
Hot
One
100,
good thing.
whole Mickey or a fifth for the audience in the United States.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Fell down a hill, got punched in the face by a girl, not my wife.
This is normal Hot 100 talk. I'm waiting for this to get different. How did this turn into you finding a beautiful wife who puts up with obviously a lot?
I don't know.
It's lucky, eh?
Yeah, no, there was an end to the night that was me leaning on a fence like a scarecrow, and my
Nice.
buddy's mom like dragged me in the house.
If he
this is
only
a
had a
different night.
brain.
This is
Yeah,
a different
okay.
night than at the lake.
Oh boy,
Man, what have I done?
man! Did Hot 100 get a shout out at your wedding? I feel like it should be like a groomsman or something.
No, but maybe at my brother's wedding. I'm speaking at my brother's wedding.
Nice. Ooh,
Yeah,
public
so-
speaking.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You know,
So what else we got to speak about?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we've talked for 41 minutes.
Really? Hey, we have a clock up there.
I know.
We have a clock
Have you noticed
now.
I haven't been looking at my phone so much? Because I've always just looked up at my clock.
Yeah, beautiful clock.
That's a long run for two guys just to be talking, but it seems like there has been no sort of gaps in any of this, and it's been a really engaging conversation. So
Well, I've got something for you.
lay it on me.
I got. Here's the drinking game here's
Okay.
the damn drinking
This'll be
game.
good.
Every time I say, here's the thing.
You got your crutch.
or-
Are we exposing crutches now? I like that.
Oh, well, this is the internet. We can expose whatever we want.
Not that banana, I'm telling you. You got a whole
Too
different
late for
crowd
that.
for us with your
The other crutch,
entrance.
if I have to call it that, is when I say two things. Because I always got two things to say to you. Option A and B, right?
You always come with options.
Okay, so
I didn't think about that before, yeah.
Mother's Day's coming up.
Here we go. What day is it actually? Just so everyone at home knows.
Little B,
Because
what day is it? You live with your mom.
It's a Sunday. LB, when's Mother's Day? Oh,
He gives me the shh.
He knew he was just doing something else. He totally knows he's just doing something else real quick, not looking it up.
He was
because we
looking.
all
He
know.
was looking for a Mother's Day.
You know what the actual answer is? Every day is Mother Day around here.
Okay,
So
so
May 12th.
May 12th.
May
Of course, we knew that.
yeah, of course.
Shout out
just
to
under
all
a
the
week.
mothers.
Yeah, duh. Don't you know?
Can't believe people don't know that.
I want the Gary quick hit.
Uh-oh.
Best Mother's Day present that you could get your mother, and the worst one.
Okay, best one is easily making supper and cleaning it up, which I plan on doing this year.
Oh yeah.
Because I will have the time, and I'm gonna, Mom, I know you're watching. I'm gonna make you a Mother's Day supper, and I'm gonna do all the cleaning as well. Because every time it's a battle, and she always does it. She's one of those people that loves to cook and then just cleans up because that's just what she does.
Yep.
So that's gonna be the best gift. I've
Dishes
ever given
and
her.
kitchen, right? Like
whole thing.
the whole shebang. Yeah.
Doesn't move a muscle. That's the plan. The worst would probably be something along the lines of like a Slayer CD or maybe like a punk rock CD, something I know she would never ever want or use. You know, and it's usually like last seconds, like go to the gas station, get a CD. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
They got Rain
$10
and Blood here. Awesome. $10. Mama love it. Let's do
$10
it.
gas station
Yeah.
sunglasses.
That's it.
$10 gas station
Anything.
cell phone charger.
It's all there.
I was
That's
going
what
to say
you
like
do the
nudie
best.
magazines.
Well, that'd be Father's Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that goes back to good. Good best Father's Day present. Nudie mags.
Nudie magazine. What was the one from Married with Children? Biggums. Biggins. Shout out to Biggins.
Oh, that's the name of the magazine.
Yeah.
I can understand what would be big in Biggins. Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Okay.
Your turn. Here we go.
Oh, I got to do it too.
Well, you can't just throw it at me and then be like,
I had a second
I don't
thing.
have to. Oh, okay.
I had a second thing.
And then we're going back to that though.
And we are?
Yeah, you're not getting out of this.
I might, because the second thing could. I'm looking at the clock too. Gary.
I know. I noticed that you're getting a little squirrely over there.
The second thing is, as part of the Dufferin Avenue Media Network, the DAM network, I kind of want to start to share the story and create some not longer form dialogue, but some connection with the audience and expose Gary, but in a good way, and a little bit tell the story and make people aware that they can do this too, right? Like our content is for everybody, and we want everybody to be in our audience as long as you're not a jerk.
Yeah.
And part of that is building kind of an audience and community around us. So do you have any way to kick off the Gary story? Is it getting your first radio job? Is it broadcast school? Is it failing at everything you've ever done and then you became like a radio host? Like, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But what is the thing that started it at all?
Wow.
Started it at all. Did you hear that?
Started it at all.
Yeah.
As in like choosing the career, or as in this finally living out the dream?
Yes.
And as far as choosing the career, that was, I think I told the story before, the nickel plumbing story.
A little bit, yeah. But was
where I
there
was going down the
anything
stairs.
before that? Like, you've got a nice voice. You're obviously personable. You're professional
I think
when you want to be.
I could do this.
Okay.
Going way back, I've always been a sports guy, and you can relate to being a sports guy.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter what it was. Growing up, best parents, best family in the universe. And they know that, and I tell them that all the time. But I was always taught, and it goes all the way back to, I remember being a kid, and my grandma would tell me that, like, she would have to kill ants in the garden. I'd be like, Grandma, don't kill the ants. Like, those ants are alive. You can't do that. So I've always had this empathetic, I guess, like, being, some sort of me, ultra empathetic, so I could feel things that most people couldn't. So I could look at someone, and I could talk to you, and I could actually feel what you're going through. And I could look at a dog and understand that this dog is hurting, and I need to help it. And so I could always do that. So that's sort of where my I want to help people side came from. And then as far as trying to turn that into a career, I remember growing up, we got satellite TV. I talk about it all the time, the most spoiled kid in the history of mankind. And that's why I'm always trying to give back so much, because I know how lucky I was, and I know how incredible my upbringing was, and I always want to give people a taste of that, because
The internet word for that now is privilege.
There it is. So I
That's
got
the internet
privilege.
speak word for people.
You're looking at it right here. So any chance I can get, I want to give that back. And I remember with that satellite TV, we got ESPN, and we got ESPN News. And I watched the greatest duo in the history of sports broadcasting on ESPN News, the great Stuart Scott, may he rest in peace. I remember exactly where I was in the Dominican Republic when he passed away. And I remember crying on the beach by myself, just because Stuart Scott was such a huge part of me. And I didn't, like, he was fighting all this cancer, and he was sick, but I had no idea it was like coming that quick.
Yeah.
And when it hit me, it's one of those things where you know exactly where you were. I was on this beach in the Dominican Republic, and I'm like, oh my God, and I had all the feelings. And again, being empathetic, it's like that was my guy. It was him, and it was the great Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick and Stuart Scott doing ESPN News made me say, if I can't make it in sports, I sure as hell want to talk about it. And those two dudes, man, they got me into it. And from there, it was, well, if I want to do this, I'm going to have to do the school. So then I almost fell into the pool of poop in the basement, and called Dad's like, I got to go to radio school. Here we go. Shout out to Don Scott and WABC. We hit that. I failed the final with like a 34%. He says, you're going to Rosetown. I go to Rosetown.
What's in Rosetown? Is that broadcasting school?
That
is
is
trade
my
school?
first job. That was my first internship, 13, 30, 12, 10. So there was one in Rosetown and one in, it's still there. Great little radio stations. And then I went off to Cat Country KWA, Slave Lake, Alberta. Then I came home, went to Australia with my buddy Doobie and my buddy Benji. Came back because the great Kurt Levins, one of the greatest dudes in the history of mankind. Shout out to Kurt Levins, who I just love. He sent me an email when I was in Australia saying, hey, well, we got this part-time gig for you over at the station. And I came in there, started with the sports show, and then that's where I ran into Drew Amenda. And him and I formed this bond, and so I called him like my work mentor. He's like my work dad. Same birthday as my real dad.
Oh, yeah?
So I had my real dad, so I never forget. So Dad's birthday, that means it's Drew's birthday. And he took me under his wing, and that's sort of got me down the sports road. And then, unfortunately, with the sports road in a town like Saskatoon, it's really tough to do sports for a living. I guess Saskatchewan, really.
Shout out to Croker. I guess he must be good at what he does.
Love that man. Again, Croker. Can't wait. So we'll get him on tomorrow to get us ready for the Blades.
He must have got to like a terrible car crash, hey?
Why would you? Dude.
Sorry.
What the hell is wrong with you? Anyways, Croker, we love you. Drive safe, please. And then you go from the newsroom, and then you go and become a radio DJ who's actually a sports person at heart. And that's why I say I barely ever did anything music, because all I listened to was like death metal and punk rock and like gangster rap.
And sports.
So that show that we did for like six years over there was a sports show disguised as a radio show, as a DJ thing.
Yep.
So I never tried to shy away from that. I always said it's the most real show you're going to get, because I'm never going to try to be a DJ and say this is music and this is what it goes. All my friends' bands that I could help, I got them on. We helped them. We did it. But it was always sports based, and it's always been that sports thing.
And that was the, I guess, the inception, the start of like the Gary kind of host fusion of the type of music and I guess the culture that drives the type of music you like is part of it. And being empathetic and caring about others around you is part of it.
That's it.
And sports is another part of it. That's 3 parts. You're at least a tripod to stand on.
And that is exactly what this is. I'm not joking when I say this is me truly living out my dream, being able to wake up in the morning, getting to hang out with my closest friends, guys that are similar minded. I compared us to just a bunch of misfits that were never, never really fit in here or there, and we were always looking for someone to accept us and someone to bring us in. And
now we have the internet to do that. Ooh, Gary, what have you done?
My point is, I am so grateful and so happy to be a part of this, and none of this would happen without you guys, right? Like, wouldn't happen without LB coming in. Wouldn't happen without you coming in, and these people that know how to do stuff I have no idea how to do. All I know is I can feel what other people feel all the time, and I want them to feel better, because you come from, the last big thing was losing the big 3, and I said it before. Losing your family, your job, and your home, there's nowhere to go but up from there. It's the darkest place you can possibly be. So being down where everyone else sort of feels like they're at some point in some sort of stage in life right now, knowing what that is, I want to get you out of that, because I was just there. And everyone here helps me get out of that every single day. So that's sort of like the 4th pillar of that, is actually making the mission statement come true.
Oh, no, I got this. We'll make it a studio analogy.
Ooh, I like analogies.
The 3rd pillar, the 4th pillar is the sandbag that holds it all down. Ties the tripod down so the wind doesn't tip over.
You mean the sandbag that LB's been trying to tell me to get in here for the last month and I haven't got yet?
Yes. I've got a little bit of an addendum.
As soon as we got the light stands in here, both Ethan and I were like, we should need to get some sandbags. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get them to
be fair, my brother had them to drop off in his truck, and he just got too busy and forgot. And I just didn't bug him after. No, it's mine. It's all mine. I should have just went and
lead from the front, Gary.
Yeah, it's all my
I've got one addendum, though. One addendum.
Before we hit Frankie's fingers, it's almost time to roll up.
It wouldn't have happened if LB wasn't here. Well, one day he wasn't here, and we called him like 6 times, and it kind of didn't happen, but it still did happen. Just FYI.
I said the best learning experience anyone could have here was not having him here, right? And it just showed the value he has, and that's why I say he's the heartbeat, he's the soul, he's the everything of this place, and I can't thank him enough. Just like you guys all do the stuff that I could never ever figure out how to do, and fortunately for everyone, it's the most important stuff around here. So
well,
you guys carry, man.
Here's my last 2 things.
There he goes.
Here's my last 2 things. I did it again. First one, get a mentor. Mentorship program at your place of work, in your sports club. Become a mentor if you are an experienced person, or kind of imprint on somebody and make them be your mentor. So valuable. So valuable to learn from experience and actually be taught and then be observed in like a healthy way, not like over your shoulder micromanagement.
That was my Duramenda. That was my work mentor.
Mentorship's so huge. And my second thing reminds me of a book I read. We've talked about it before. It's called The Book of 3 by Lloyd Alexander.
Oh yeah, this is big.
It's the first book in the Prydain Chronicles. It's a series of 5 books that were written in the 60s, won like Newbery Awards and stuff. Yeah. And Disney has a movie called The Black Cauldron from like 1983.
Ooh, that's with the scary witch. I just remember the visual of the scary witch doing this and the big black cauldron.
Described 90% of Disney movies.
It might have been Snow White.
The Black Cauldron is based on the Prydain Chronicles. And the Book of 3, the main dude, says to the little boy, he starts out as a boy, and by the last book, he's a grown-up. It's a becoming of age story, kind of like Harry Potter or whatever, right? Okay. He says there's 3 ways to learn. You can learn by being taught, and a mentor can do that. Okay. You can learn by doing it.
Reps.
And a mentor can observe you doing it and reteach the parts that you need taught again. And then you can learn by failure and suffrage. That's the hardest one. That's the hardest one.
I'll never forget it. Gary, I've spent 7 years making all the mistakes doing what you're about to do. And that's when I knew you were the guy to join.
Yeah.
That was it. Look at us.
Those are the 3 ways. And because I did that, I want to be able to take under and mentor and teach and do as part of the damn studio. And if you want to be a part of that, you go to
join us.
DufferinAve.com.
One more time. Look at that.
If you want to create content with us, or if you want to advertise your product or services, we've got an ad pack that we can actually send you now that tells you
this weekend. He made them. They're incredible.
All of the affordable prices for advertising. And if you're a creator, all of the cool stuff that you could have access to, or if you already do create and want a larger platform like the one that you can harness through Dufferin Avenue on YouTube or a podcast network, because we're a network, we can make our own commercials and do our own advertisements, and the sky's the limit.
That's it.
Any budget, any type of content with no restrictions. So I wanted to throw that in there.
That was great. So, you know, man, that ad pack, and I went through it, and the greatest feeling ever so far since we've started this was going through the entire ad pack and staying true to the very first thing I said is, we will never tell you to do anything. We will never say, go here. We'll never say, do that. We will never say any of that.
Like and subscribe or else. Like
Shout
that.
out to Brandon. My man. In that entire advertising pack, I told you, that was the feedback I gave you. Not once did I ever feel like you were telling me I had to do anything. And it just sort of just pinned home that point of, you can truly customize how you want to be a part of this in any way. And that to get that through an ad pack like that was so cool. So
And
props to you for
man,
that.
I remember being like starting out my own little company and local business, and it's just me, and you always feel like you're failing, and you always feel like there's never enough time, there's never
mental
enough
game,
money
man, that
to
mental game.
advertise or grow or to pay people. And that's why we worked closely together with our first few group of partners like
There
Aquaman,
it is.
Uncle Mike's.
Nickel Plumbing, another place
Nickel
that
Plumbing,
built the place right
right?
there.
Like
SCS, Deneb, all these people.
we talked with these people and made sure that they're taken care of, and asked them about, okay, what would be appropriate budgets for other companies like you guys to not be scared off, because we are all about lifting each other up. And as much as we make content to kind of epitomize that, we also want to do that for people that we look for out in the community to spend our money at, like Pet Planet. I was just there. I was there on Saturday.
Everyone's going there now. That's what I'm talking about, man. We're not in the business of putting people down or bringing them down. We're only in the business of bringing people up. What's that? Oh, Meg. Hey, speaking of Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer, why don't we go ahead and get Frankie's fingers going too there, LB, while we go to one final Maggie Cam.
Pew, 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 pew.
There she is. Hey, no, you're going to get sneezy. Stop it. See, she's always licking the fur because she's like, I'm just going to groom myself. And
Everybody
she sneezes.
likes a good animal sneeze,
so
especially
sweet.
when it's a cute one,
is
like
cute.
a turtle,
Yeah.
or if turtles sneeze.
Yeah.
Or-
Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Shout out to Mike, Rochelle, Kirsten, Chris, Char, the whole gang over there. Apparently, it's like our whole gang now going over there too, so you might as well join the party that is. Pet
There we
Planet
go,
on 8th
yeah.
Street. Man, we're doing
Squirrel
it. Bring it out.
sneezes. What
would
else?
be the cutest sneeze? Baby sneezes are really cute of any type.
Yes.
Be it human or animal.
Oh, a
or
baby
anything.
seal.
I don't think I've ever seen a baby seal sneeze.
But you can imagine it, though.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need more baby animals.
Hey, yeah, maybe we can.
We should start
Maybe the SPCA will reach out, and we can have some SPCA pet drives or
Bringing
something.
them in.
Hey,
That's
bring
what
them
we're
in.
gonna do. Okay, so yeah, we'll start working on that. Thank you for joining us on this incredible Monday edition. To Network, Ryan, thank you for filming the entire time, man. It really, really was a lot of fun, and you are so good at this. And I know we ride you a lot, but you are very talented, and thank you for being on board. LB, exact same stuff to you, except more because you're more important and better than this guy in every way. To Croker, we love you. We'll get you on tomorrow as we get ready for Blades tomorrow night. Tonight, we got Bruins. We got Panthers going. Game 1, I believe 6 o'clock puck drop there. So enjoy that this evening as we make our way into a Monday evening. Again, to you, my friend, thank you for everything. As we will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. on your show. Have a great, great Monday night.
Pew, 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 pew. I'm going to air horn to. I'm
That's
going to finger the air horn. Pew, pew, pew.
This.
Oh, we're
Doing
talking
it
about
wrong?
different things.